Shalom, call Halal Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world can call God, by Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shah, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world can call JC, Yahweh Shah. Once again, the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom also to you, Akim, your brothers that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem Shah. Shalom to you, Akim, once again. Shalom also to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all forefathers. Though you may look like the heathen nations, you're scattered amongst which the heathen nations are the nations starting from two on down. Those are the heathen nations. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage goes back to these people, as you see on this chart through the man, and if his spirit bear witness with his word is truth, and you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, or child. If this does apply to you, Israelites, though you do look like the heathen nations you're scattered amongst due to the scattering of these people in this chart. So once again, you will have Israelites come looking like the other nations, but they're indeed Israelites because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 15th verse all the way to 68th verse. Their spirit bear witness with his word that they're the sons and daughters of Yahweh Shema Shah. Most importantly, their line, their lineage goes back to these people through the man, no matter what they come looking like. If their father's an Israelite, that makes them an Israelite as well. Also, to the few Aqua, few Israelite sisters that do listen, learn, believe, and have respect towards your husbands. Shalom. To the elect of Israel, shalom. To so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, once again, you combine, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, who the world calls JC. Once again, Yahweh Shah. Alright, and we're gonna play this clip from Bull Bear Boom, or Bull Boom Bear Bus. So we're gonna play it.
It's Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this broadcast. Bulls and Bears, we want to step away from the markets for a minute here, and we want to get back into preparation and specifically food shortages. And we've been reporting on the rising food prices happening here in the United States and across most of the globe, for that matter. Some very concerning things are happening. We're going to talk about the Texas freeze today, and we're going to talk about some other strange things happening. And if you thought it couldn't get any weirder, we have a mouse plague running over a lot of farms in eastern Australia. And we saw the locust thing happen within the last couple years down in Africa, and just all kinds of insane things happening. And a lot of people are pointing to these types of things as end time signs or signals. And, I'm not sure.
That's the thing. Alright. So these plays is hitting, man. Alright, let's get a scripture real quick. Because all people can say is this is end time prophecies happening. We know it's the elect, us in the truth, we understand the hopeful elect, Salakia. Us, we know what is going on. We're gonna get started with that real quick. This is Sirach. Let's start off with this description. We'll go right back to the video. Sirach 39 or Ecclesiasticus 39, and let me see. Alright. It says his blessings cover. I started at 22. It says his blessings. Yep. I started at 22. It says his blessing covered the dry land as a river and water as a flood. As he have turned the waters into salt, and so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. All his ways are plain unto the holy. Us is in his truth. We understand what's going on. These people is going to say, so are they stumbling blocks onto the wicked. All right. So these people, all they can just say is biblical prophecy, but they don't know who and what is doing it. All right. What's going to come out their mouth? Jesus, God, and that's all. You see? Going back.
Not sure what your views are on that, but things are certainly strange. Let's take a look at some information here.
And
now, first,
actually, since he said that word strange, let's get that. Let's Sirach the 10th chapter. Sirach 10 and let me see. All right, because pride, great pride, dwells within Babylon the Great, aka America, in this system, man. So we're gonna get Sirach 10 and 12. We'll start there. It says the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh, and his heart is turned away from his maker, your mind. That's why what I read in Sirach 39. All right, the ways, his ways are playing onto the holy, but onto the wicked is a stumbling block, because you people's pride, all right, has cost you, really, you Israelites, because the only ones that's are the people of Yahweh, all right, are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Those are our people that come looking like the other nations, but they're Israelites. All right, a lot of you, all right, because of pride, because of system, you know, you've departed from Yahweh by Shema Shah. For pride is beginning to sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination, and therefore the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly, man. And that's what's happening. Strange calamities. Same thing in Egypt. All right, we're gonna get into that, man. All right, but the most proudest above our people are is Esau, even the so-called white man, the man that's in power right now. But like I said, we'll get into that. All right.
First of all, back to the U.S. here. This is out of WAPO. Texas freeze killed winter produce with some food prices expected to spike. Now, we've already been reporting on spiking food prices, and we're starting to see it now at the fast food places. Of course, in the grocery store, we've been seeing it for a while. There's food insecurity in the U.S. We've been seeing rising food lines, in some cases, miles and miles of cars, people waiting for hours for a bag of food. Well, now those food banks are concerned about these food shortages, and part of this happening is the freeze that we saw in Texas. Damage to fruits and vegetables from last week's Texas storms could cause shortfalls at food banks and lead to grocery stores sourcing further away. Right, so this is going to be more food being imported. The problem is there's a lot of problems happening across the globe, and there may not be enough food to even import, considering everything that's happening. And we'll talk about the mouse plague here in a few minutes. But first, a quote from this article. A farmer in Texas said leafy greens will probably experience the greatest losses. Some crops lost entirely. Onions and cabbage seem to suffer the least, although he said even those farmers are reporting a 20% loss overall. All right, so did you hear that? Even the farmers that reported not complete losses, still 20% losses. What if we see a 20% spike in food prices? This is not good, considering the state of the average American, who a big part of the U.S. population now is waiting for every stimulus check to come out so they can just buy shoes in many cases. But a lot of people depend on these checks just to keep food on the table.
Exactly. While you Jake's down in Miami Beach acting a damn fool, all right, this is what's happening, and they're not reporting it on the news. And if they are reporting it on the news, all right, they'll report it for like 5 seconds and then take it off, or you have to look for it. Just like, you know, this dude Bull Boom Bear Bust, and you know, other people like Dabu 7, Jeremiah Babe, people like them, the so-called truthers, would do. They'll look it up. All right, but this is what's happening. We'll get that. All right, that's we bring this out. This is Second Ezra 16. While all this is happening, you people are partying and BSing, man. All right, not always mindful of the scourges, like it's gonna say. This is Second Ezra 16 and 17 says, "Woe is me, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine, of what? Food and water." All right, these different. We're gonna get into that. These different farmlands is taking L's, man. Farmers, all right. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And you, only people that can do something about this is you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. All right, you could repent. You could be saved out of these calamities, because who's bringing these calamities? Yahweh. All right, Yahweh by Shema Shah. That's who's bringing these calamities. All right, these things will happen as Yahweh Shah make his second coming. All right, as he comes nearer and nearer. That's what's happening. That's why all these things are taking place. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent scourges for a minute. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Why? Because they so-called reopen everything. All right, so-called. The reason why I say so-called because they let people, travel. Go down to specific states and party at the beaches and everything. But what happened down in Miami Beach while they was partying? All right, they had set a curfew up. The people wouldn't go home. So what they started doing? They started sending basically security and policing. And they started shooting pepper balls at the people, man. All right, but you're still not mindful of what's going on. You don't know what time it is, and most of it was Jake. All right, it was the Israelite man and woman, man. Behold, victuals, which is food, clothing, raiment, all right, resources, shall be so good cheap upon earth. Because it's still somewhat cheap, but it's getting expensive, like he said. All right, and now, how much more as these farmers are taking the hit from these natural disasters, and even I'm gonna play the clip going now. He says a mouse plague, all right, which they're not talking about because this is in Australia, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's happening elsewhere, especially over here in America, man. Says that they shall thank themselves to be in good case because you're getting a stimulus check. Like I said, they so-called reopening the economy. All right. What else? Let me keep going. It says, even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion, man. The famine is getting worse and worse. All right. And like I say, when you have a shortage of something and it's a high demand for it, you got all these people getting all this stimulus money. He said people are stacking up on as much goods and food as possible. All right. Well, you got a high demand for a product and it's a shortage of it. The price gonna go up on it, and the price is gonna go up on it regardless because all this money printing that they're doing. All right, to make sure you people, all right, like the scriptures say, show your oppression, make of a wise man mad, for gift destroyed the heart. They gotta keep you docile and blind while they set this thing up, this new order up. You see? So let's go back to the video. Actually, you know what? I'll get one more. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others that is escaped them shall the sword destroy. Which Esau, Edom, is that sword, man. All right, because when these what does it say? The full storehouses, when they be found empty, you know, these people what are gonna be fighting each other, man. All right, whether it's family members, friends, it's gonna be people against people, Egyptian versus Egyptian. All right, and you people still think it's all good. It's nothing's happening. All right, if something is happening, the government he's gonna take care of it. No, man, it's getting to the point where Esau is gonna lose control because the Most High is gonna get to the point where Yahweh, all right, he's gonna take full control because he's still allowing these devils, which he's putting spirit on these devils, all right, to do particular things, having them think that they're still in control. But it's gonna get to the point where they're not even gonna be in control of what's gonna happen. All right, because this is the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai at the end of the day for the wickedness that's going on in this world. All right, and for the controversy of Zion. So we're gonna play some more.
And now possibly more food shortages are going to be not good. San Antonio Current, Texas food banks anticipate fresh food shortages after February freeze devastated produce sources. CNN, food banks are bracing for shortages after Texas freeze killed many of the state's produce. From this article, thousands of cars lined up in a parking lot at a flea market on the city's southwest side and other distribution sites across multiple parts of the state last year. They waited for hours for bags with beans, canned goods, and fresh produce and milk. The food bank adjusted, stretching its resources and strengthens partnerships with farmers and growers. Then a disaster. Watch what I do. Disaster within a disaster hit the state. Water outages and extensive blackouts forced families to sleep in frigid homes and cars, scavenge for a hot meal, forge medical treatment, and use melted snow to flush the toilet. All right, so that gets into a little bit of how these families dealt with the freeze, the deep freeze there in Texas. But regarding food insecurity, food shortages, and rising food prices, this is very, very concerning. All right, we're already seeing rising prices, and when you see things like this with more food devastation, we know it's only going to lead to higher food prices. So what I'm doing is I'm ramping up my purchases of canned goods. And what you do is you buy some canned goods, even though you may not need it today. When it starts to get close to expiration, within 6 months, say, start integrating that into your daily meals, start putting it in with your dinners. But you have to be kind of organized and put the older stuff, close to the front, and the newly purchased stuff close to the back of wherever you're storing it. That way, there's easy access to the food that's going to expire first. And that's something that I need to do. I need to rearrange my food that I have in my garage and my shed. And this food insecurity that we're seeing in the U.S. is likely to get worse as prices rise. And this was a report came out a few months ago. We talked about this. This is an NPR article, and this was even a few months ago. It's likely to get worse, but nearly 1 in 4 households have experienced food insecurity this year. And even before the infection hit, about 10% of all U.S. households faced food insecurity, and it got even worse, of course, with everything that happened in 2020. Now it's 1 in 4, so 25% of households food insecurity, according to this article. And now let's go out to Australia, and this is disturbing, and it's affecting a lot of farms in eastern Australia, especially. It's a mouse plague of biblical proportions,
Look
and we're
at
going to show
that.
you some videos that, in my opinion, are pretty disturbing. So
Look at that.
if you're easily grossed out or creeped out, you may want to tune away from this right now. All right, this is an infestation. Let's take a look at this video here.
So if you see in that video all them white things moving in the ground, you go that's mouse. That's mice. Alright? Just look at that, man. Look at that. So it said the end of the drought, it brought bumper crops, but what came with that was a bunch of mice that fed on them. So let's play it again. It's all mice. Ooh. Look how fast they run.
And it's not just the farms; they're also coming into people's houses more. In this part of the country, there. Here's one in a furnace vent. It looks like
he's staring at me in our thing vent. Like a little baby one.
Pretty creepy. People are setting traps and just catching hundreds and hundreds at a time. Here's a disturbing picture of one of the catches here.
Look at
somebody's residence. Just absolute insane things happening. So can it get any stranger, folks? I don't.
It's gonna get way worse. It can't get any stranger. It's gonna get way worse for you people, especially you Edomites, man. And we gonna get into that. All right, let's get Psalms 104. All right, it's gonna get way worse. So you see, we're gonna start at. I'm gonna get Psalms 104, and I started at 16 because I get straight to the point. All right. It says the trees of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon which he had planted, where the birds make their nests as for the stork, the fir trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies. He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth is going down. Thou makest darkness, and it is night, when all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. The young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from Yahweh. The sun ariseth, they gather themselves together and lay them down in their dens. Man goeth forth onto his work and to his labor until the evening. O Lord Yahweh by Shemashah, how manifold are thy works, and wisdom hast thou made them all. the earth is full of thy riches. So is this great and wide sea wherein are things creeping innumerable. All right, both small and great and beasts, small and great beasts. Salakia. All right, says there, and one of those creeping things, real quick. Let's go to Leviticus 11. All right, well, let's just look up mouse. Okay, and innumerable. But let's get the definition of that real quick. Innumerable. Too many to be counted. And you saw that video, man. That was way too many to be counted. That was crazy. All right. It was all in the people's Edomites' house. One was just looking dead at her. You know, a mouse, when they see you, a mouse gonna take off. A mouse ain't gonna sit there and look you eye to eye. So you know the Lord put the spirit on these things to come out, man. Let's get mouse, right? Showing you is one of those creeping things. Now, this is our Levitical law. It says, these also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. The weasel and the mouse and the tortoise after his kind. All right? So going back, okay, Psalms 104. Let me read again, Psalms 104 and 25. So is this great and wide sea wherein things are creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. These wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season. And he's put the spirit in them to go out there, all right, and eat those bumper crops. You see? We're just adding more to the famine, man. It was all in the water. They said it was all in their water, so contamination. You know, when a mouse or any type of a weasel or rat, when that's in there, that's disgusting. All right, that's not good. But yeah, man. So Yahweh Shema Shah is one of the plagues of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Whether it's written or whether it's unwritten. All right. So going back. Let's get 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay, this is New Egypt, man. All right. Let's just get to the point because I'm on borrowed time. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But I will bring them, was the people, the Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, are people that look like the other nations, but scattered. All right. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, all right? And he said as before. Why? Let's go to Joel 3 and 19, all right? Because that links the nation of Edom to Egypt, the new Egypt, all right? Look on the back of your $1 bill. What do you see? Egyptian pyramid. You see in D.C., you got an obelisk. You got cities just like you had in ancient Egypt. Cities was Alexandria, Egypt, Memphis, Egypt. And what you got in America? Memphis, Tennessee, and Alexandria, Virginia. All these things linked. And what was Egypt mainly known for? Having the 12 tribes in captivity. All right, we came over here in captivity. And we're still in captivity. But this is Joel 3:19 says, Egypt shall be a desolation. Now, it's not talking about the first one because the Lord already made the first Egypt a desolation. So it says, in Edom, so-called white man, shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah because they have shed innocent blood in their land. And that's not just the Edomites here in America, which the Edomites here in America, you're at the forefront of it, but also you Edomites that's over in Australia, you in Italy, you in Great Britain, all wherever you at, man. All right, you gonna catch these plagues, man. All right. So that's why it's just coming for you like that. That's Yahweh Shema Shah plaguing you, just like he did the ancient Egyptians. He plagued them. All right. It got to the point where they was telling the king, no, just let these people go, because Egypt is destroyed. That's how bad he plagued it. All right. It says Egypt shall mourn, the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground, which your farmers, shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail and with fearful constellation. The natural disasters that's been happening, that's been destroying the crops, and now you got mouse, and you also got locusts. All right, look up locusts. You got all these locusts that are not attacking, but they eating all the crops. It was locusts the size of major cities. They said that was doing it. Going from India, I believe they hit China, the Middle East. They were hitting everywhere, man. Okay? Says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because this is what this is leading up to. We already got a famine, rising food prices, famine, tension at an all-time high. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, which is seen that already, people against the government. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand their own power. We just had 2 so-called mass shootings, because we know Esau, got probably set that up. But anyway, the whole picture that they're putting out there, all right, people see a mass shooter. So people are fed up out here. People are going in straight joker mode out here. They don't care about the law anymore because they see, all right, America is not what it used to be. You see? For this shall be, I read that already. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, martial law. And you saw what happened down in Miami Beach, down in Miami when they was partying. What happened? The security, the cops, the police, they broke that shit up. Those people thought they got their liberty back. You don't have nothing back. All right? They closing in on you people. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Why? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because the dollar's going to crash, and then it's going to be a food shortage to the point where there is no more food, man. All right? There ain't going to be no more food. Okay? The only ones that's gonna eat, okay, in these times, okay, is the elect, man. And actually, let's get Second Ezra, the second chapter, and go into it, man. The only one that's gonna be taken care of through these times, all right, is the elect. Let's get Jeremiah 30 and 8. It says, 4. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah spake concerning Israel, concerning Judah, the tribes, man. You Israelites. For thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And a man can't have a child. So it's gonna get so bad that you have the mightiest men, according to this society, they gonna be afraid, because they ain't gonna have answers. They ain't gonna know what to do. They're going to be in the shit just like the woman is, man. How much more you women? It says, Allah's for that day is great, so that none is like it. Is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out. And who's going to be that he? It's going to be the elect. All right? Everybody outside the elect, you're going to be finished. All right? I got to get this real quick. This is 2 Ezra 2 and 24. It says, abide still, my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness still come. Nor is thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble in heaven cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. Who's going to be that? Psalms 91. You shall see the reward of the wicked, man. The wicked is going to suffer. Sirach, the 40th chapter, tells you that all the famine, the death, the swords for the wicked, man. All right? The elect ain't got to worry about nothing. But thou should be merry and have abundance. And when you have abundance of something, you have a lot of something. What are you going to have a lot of? Food, all right? Food, clothing, shelter, everything. The heathen, which 2/3 of our people, as of on this side, they are counted as heathen because they follow the ways of the heathen. So the Lord's going to judge them with the uncircumcised, man. Shall envy thee, because they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, because they're going to see you eat. They're going to see that your clothes not dingy, you're not starving, you're not scratched up or nothing. And they're going to want a piece of that, but they're not going to be able to get a piece of it because it's their judgment time. They receive their consolation on this side, all right? They didn't choose to suffer or seek Yahweh Shemashah, speaking of our people, all right, when, the evil days wasn't here yet. But they're going to try to do it when that happens, and it's not going to work. It don't work like that. It's either now or never. My hands shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell. So if you got kids and you in the truth and you endure to the end, Alright? They're going to be taken care of, man. Alright? So call hello Allah Yahweh Bashim Shah. Yahweh Ratazal is edifying. Papa Kisha. Abba Papo. Abba Papo. Abba Ha Ayabya. Abba Ha Ayabya. Shalom to you left. To the few Akwaf. Shalom. Hawad. Haya. La Yahweh Bashim Shah. Shalom.